All right. Hey guys, welcome to the Gold Rush Weekly Watch List 829. So this week in general, we still have S&Ps making higher highs and higher lows. It's really riding this 50 moving average. You can see this yellow line comes down, taps, rips off. I mean, we've been talking about this for weeks, right? Just comes down, taps, rip off, taps, rips off. Now, take this with a grain of salt because I am usually the market skeptic and I'm always waiting for the other shoe to drop or for the market to dump on us, right? So my overall, take a look at the trade. All right, I'll look at the trading room too, coach. But my overall feel since we're hitting September, and if you saw the trading room, JCat mentioned that why does September dump? And he said there's no real rhyme or reason, but overall, it's the last quarter of the last month of the third quarter. So there's a lot of rebalancing going on to get rid of losers to head into the end of the year, which we kind of get a pop like from end of October through Christmas. And they actually call it like the Santa rally. But so take this with a grain of salt. My thought is we have memes running short squeezes happening, very similar to January where we had our dip after Christmas. I feel like we're going to have a nice green start to the week. And after that, once we roll into September, we might start seeing the volatility really start to roll in. Last year, it started on September 4th. Me and Huey have that date etched in our minds because that was the beginning of end of these great accounts that we thought we were hot shit building up through the summer when you could just throw money at it and everything stuck. And the drop literally, so let's go back and look at it from September. Here we go. We went from 35.82-ish, 35.87, and 2 weeks nonstop down to 31.98. So basically, what, 400 points just about? Yeah, 387 points we lost in 2 weeks. And when was this? September 3rd. So the 4th is the one that got me because the reason why it got me, look at this. So let's zoom in on this one. Okay. So we had the hard rip on the 3rd, right? The 4th came in and we came here and we started ripping off the bottom like a dead cat bounced. So most of us new traders, what happened was we started going long there. We started going in calls. We're like, here we go. We're ripping back to the upside. And boom, we just got demolished. I think this was a Tuesday. Let's see, 3rd. No, it was a Thursday. Yeah, Friday, actually. So the first one came Friday, got us on the fake out. So we all went long for the next week. And it just kept going on us. We really couldn't do anything about it. And what ended up happening, it gave us a little dead cat bounce here, couldn't get past and then rip back down. So even after getting through this pain, little money that we had left, we kind of were hesitant to make sure it was confirmed. We got to this point, we bought in and it turned around on us again. So a lot of us lost money. I mean, I know me and Huey aren't the only ones. We've talked to many people. And then from there, we had a double bottom in the beginning of November and the Thanksgiving rally started. So you can kind of see what we mean about here's our June pullback, which remember, we haven't had a major pullback like June. We haven't had anything over 4% pullback yet. Since this, we haven't had more than a 4% pullback since last September. So it's been a full year. And the market overall averages at least 10% pullback a year. So, I mean, law of averages says it's coming for us. And that's why I say take this with a grain of salt because this market can continue ripping up. But law of averages saying we're going to have a pullback here at some point. Now, my point was, you see, we came out of COVID and we were kind of just ripping up until this slowed us down for a little bit, get a little sideways action before taking the next leg up. But look at this angle compared to just that 6 months. I mean, we are hard up. So just be careful. If this is going to be a rebalance and this is going to be a shitty September, we don't want to be going in heavy on stuff, right? There's no reason to. We're aware of this. There's no reason for us to go full port on something because that thing, what if the market just decides that's the day that you're gonna get this. What's this one? This move is 86 to 24. That's 160 points in one day. If you think you're a week or two out call surviving that, you got another thing coming. So let's play safe. We start seeing heavy sell volume come in. Look at all this volume that came in on those days. We start seeing heavy sell volume come in. We start losing things like the 20. Let's get out. Let's preserve some capital and wait for it to find the bottom or play the puts down. No reason why you can't play the puts down. I personally probably am not playing puts until after we're under the 50. And right now the 50 will put us at, I'll just do quick math here. The 50 is putting us at 43.77 from the high of 45.10. So that's like 130 points. So that's 13 points on SPY just to get back down to the 50. So we're looking at, yeah, so we're going to have a little bit of weight there. Yeah, let me pull my calculator just so I get it just right. Because I speak in percentages on this and I am waiting for anything over 5%. So 35.10 minus, what was it, 33.77? Yeah, 33.77. Here. 10 minus 33.77. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to figure this out. 133. So coming down to the 50 only puts us at a 3.7% pullback. So 10% is, we're looking at what, 35 points, 350 points. So we're looking at 260. What's the 100? Just for a 10% pullback. Yeah, we're looking to get in the 100 range, 100 moving average. So that's something to keep in mind. If we do have a major pullback, that the law of averages say we're going to have at least a 10% a year. We haven't had that yet. We haven't even had a 5%. And just putting the 50 puts us at 3.7. So if we break below the 50 and we still look bearish, we at least have another percentage down, if not two. So just keep that in mind. Again, take it with a grain of salt, but we always need to keep that in our heads that something like that crazy could happen. So to play a little lighter. All right, now let's get into the meat of what I'm looking at inside bar wise. This week, I don't like giving stuff like Tesla, but Tesla is looking awfully juicy. Look at this, we got 1, 2, basically 3, 4, all in the same range, 4. So those are not exactly 4 in a row inside bars, especially at the top of a zone, but they're pretty darn close to 4 inside bars in a row. So we're set up pretty easy on our zones. Anything above basically 717, we can get in calls, run that up. We got 721 basically, 726, and anything over 726, 729 range, this thing is taking off. We will most likely see 750, then 775, 780. So that's something to definitely watch. And this would be a good reason to kind of get people hyped on the market before taking it down, right? Get Tesla to sprint up real fast, to push 800, and then in a week, dump the market. Just my whole manipulation thought process that could definitely be something that works out. Now, if to the downside, again, easy play, break a 704, basically 700, then 697, and anything below 688, because it's been a good fight, you're going to fall down to the 670s and possibly 650. So Tesla looks really nice. I know the chains are expensive for some, but definitely something that we can make money off of. And again, we know because of theta, we're going to scalp the hell out of it. So that's Tesla. Not a whole lot needs to be said about that one. Snow, good earnings, pushed the price up, gapped up, and then inside bar cooled it off, and it cooled it off right in the middle. So again, sets us up really nice for easy plays. Our span's only $4.50, which is nothing for snow. That gap up candle was high of 307 was $17, the high and low. So that's a $17, not counting the gap, 21 altogether, but that's a $17 candle span. And even one of the smaller ones here is a $10. So 4.5 is really not much for movement. So if we stay in there, even if we stay in there for another day, means we're going to pop even harder one way or the other. So I would keep snow on your list for the week and set your alerts for 294 and basically 350. You have a $7 upside on the first price target. There's not a whole lot in between there. It might slow down at 305, nice round number, right? Psychological numbers we know about. But for the most part, we're probably going to slam into 307. So that's huge upside there. And then same for the downside. We got a $4 downside, which we could see a little fake out, right? Break to the bottom, hit our $4 downside, come back into range tomorrow before taking the next leg up. So you could scalp that to the downside and just be wary of that 290.50 line. And if it looks like it's going to slow down there, sell out. But if you get a confirmation below that, then you're going to get another $4 out of it. And that's easy money on snow. For the most part, it should be bullish. Great earnings, which made it gap up. So it's just cooling off. The market was ripping all last week anyway. It had some indecision going into earnings. So you kind of knew that it was getting ready for something. So yeah, I think snow, if you're going to keep anything on your list, I know they can be expensive as well, but keep that one on because this should play out one way or the other for sure. And then I know we're already in Etsy from T, and you can see we kind of have the same thing. What I really like about Etsy here is that's a nice tight doji, right? Almost spinning top in the middle of a engulfing bar. So it gives us, again, nice room either way. This candle ended up being 202, basically a $13 candle, and our span's only $4. So if we can even get half of that, you get $6 either way, right? Even if it bounces off the bottom, you get $2 to the top end, and you play it off the bounce here. That's one thing we don't go over a lot. So when you see my zones like this, it could open up, and let's just go in a 10-minute. It could open up, and this price could come down. Let's see, it could come down like here, bounce on this yellow line, and start lifting off, and that's your entry. It's just a support. It's just a support bounce, and that's how we got in on UAL last week. It was a support bounce that it happened on the upside, but it's the same basic theory. I hate this. Trash that one. It's the same basic theory that UAL actually had gapped up in this range, came down, tested support bounce, and as soon as it started lifting off, I got in, and we let it ride. So even when it happens in these zones, if you can confirm that it holds these supports, there's no reason you can't play it up to the call line. And then think if it gets real bullish behind it, you've got a sniper entry, breaks this and then runs. Then you're looking at already almost a $10 move from line to line. Just something to keep in mind. Another way to play these lines, especially in the morning, because we get those bouncy like first 15 minutes, right? We might see a fake up, down, bounce, 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 rip up at 10 o'clock, and you're in, gone. Just something to keep in mind for those. And you can play these with all of them. And that's how you would play any gaps over or underlines as well. Wait for it to retest and then rip off. So Etsy, I know we're already in one for this week, I believe, from T. Looks real nice. I'd probably lean bullish on it still. We have this kind of gap down on the earnings back here, a little gap down on the most recent earnings, but again, we're warming back up. We are just about, we closed over the high of the high right before the previous earnings in May. So we're back bullish and we're ready to rock a little bit. And look at all these moving averages. You got the 9 crossing through everything, the 20s crawling up now, the 100s on the 50s on a turn up, and the 100 is just about to curl up. Everything's going ready right now. So Etsy's in a great spot. I see why T got in. That's why T got in back here. Typical T play, right? Trini joining. But that's, I think Etsy's in a good spot for that as well. And then my last one before getting in some what we consider not as desirable is Snap. Again, another inside bar. I don't like the ranges that we have available here. This feels like we probably come down and test the lower end before ripping off. So this one you can kind of scalp real fast below 71.66 if it goes. Take it down and see if that $69.90, $70 line holds. If this line doesn't hold, then we can fill the gap, right? We got this big ass gap down to 64. But it's been defending pretty good because you can see that there was resistance back here anyway. So it defended twice already. Let's see if it comes down and defends a third time. And from there, I mean, that's, if you break 69.90 and hold and you're already in, that might be your spot to add and try to fill the gap. So I don't like them space to the bottom a whole lot because that's what, only not even a $2 move, so it's tight. But the upside is a different story. We basically got at least $3 to that price target, not to mention coming back up to here through 79. That's $5-6-ish and top it out at 80. So that could be a nice long run if that sentiment's there, especially on the social medias. Yeah, so those are some of the, those are my main watch. You'll see me post probably Snow for sure, and I might post Snap because I don't, in general, I guess I could just went over here, Snap. In general, I want you guys to have the best setup. So I might actually just, and we're already in Etsy, so maybe I'll post Etsy and Snow on Twitter. But all these will get put in the chat. Now we have other inside bars going on that I don't necessarily like as much, but I think we also have a pins call. So for the same time, pins we're coming over, and what I do like about pins, it closed over the 9 and the 20. So we might have room to definitely touch this 60.75. So we got a $3 move there. After that, we're going to need some volume to come in to push it through. As a whole, all these are kind of social media, so we're going to want them to run kind of together. I'll just go through all the inside bars. I know some of the guys are running a little, Microsoft. I wanted to go over this one because we like playing Microsoft a lot. It's a nice play for us usually. So you see this yellow line in here, 30.87. We had this little downtrend, right? Kind of flaggy looking. And then we got a nice little kind of spinning top, push off Dragonfly Doji. Came down, sellers picked it up. Now we came below the trend T was talking about, but so what? We ended up closing above the 9 anyway. And that's a nice strong reversal candle. If we get above that top wick of Friday's candle, 30.87, we can start getting bullish again. And then that's going to put us over the trend as well. So we're going to get back on trend after the little fake out. So we could definitely be testing all-time highs again once we close above that. That's definitely what I want to look at. The DraftKings also in a good spot. A lot of people were talking about DraftKings though. It was on Huey's watch list last week, and look at the move it made. So Huey was on it, right? Huey nailed that one. I don't know if he traded it, but he had it on watch list and he was ready for it. So again, I could see this one actually dying a little bit. Come down, test the 9, which will end up lining up with our first price target anyway. Neo threw up an inside bar on us, but I really don't like trading Neo. If you'd like to trade Neo, it would look kind of something, a little something like this. I'll get the lines in there for you, just so you have them. Here's the yellow one. Let's get another one. So basically a break above 38.47 take you most likely to 39.56 because you see how everything kind of moved in that. That 9 is going to give you a little trouble to start though. So we might see more push down just because the 9's coming in to push it down as well. Break below 37.83 and we basically get $1 at a time. And then we really want to see if that 36.25, 36 even holds up. Because if it doesn't, it's going to drain us down to 34.58. There's really not much. There's this little line right here that's really not much. Yeah. Space, don't like this one, but this could be a reversal. If you see this lift off and start getting above the 20, that might be a nice long, like maybe a month out long. This would be like a T-money style where the moving averages start turning over a little bit. But right now, if it loses 24.60, we're going down. And you could play that on the put side. I just don't necessarily like it where it's at right now. It does kind of look like it wants to make a move, but I'm not super confident in it. It's there though. You can put it on your list. Let's chart it up for you real fast again. Let's see where I would like to break. I think that break's actually pretty good. And then come back here to this one. That should be a good break too. So over 26.38 and under 25.22. Now loss of 24.60. We have a gap to fill down to 21.90. So that would be the thing to really watch in my mind is you could play it down to the first one, like $24, but that's a break at 24. That's right or down. I think that's, yeah. Maybe I like space more than I thought, at least for the downside. Now that I'm looking at it, I don't necessarily.
It has a tiny little gap to fill there too.
To the upside, yeah, up here.
To the downside.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said we got a nice gap to fill there. So I kind of like it now that I'm looking at it again. I looked at these Friday night when I was all tired, but maybe I like space more. I'll probably get this one posted. Let's change that color. And welcome, Huey. I didn't see you pop one.
Thank you, bro.
DOCU, again, Huey called DOCU last week and had a nice $13 run from Monday, roughly. So it gave us another inside bar. So currently it made a lower high and a lower low. So we might continue that trend. But we wanted to break out a little bit. So what will it look like? At the same time, anybody know what that is? JCAT triple tap. So gets above that, we're ready to rock. And it just so happens it lines up with an inside bar and a resistance bar, right? So, I mean, your safe plays maybe over 304 and we pop to go to 310 and beyond, like Buzz Lightyear. Again, my second look at this, I kind of like this one again as well. I had to stop looking at stuff at 3 o'clock in the morning, I guess. Yeah, I like that a lot. I mean, you got a little bit of everything. You got popping over the 20 and the 9, just like T likes. You got a triple tap and you got an inside bar. So you got 3 of our styles all in one. So let's make that one red too. I'll get that one posted. And then I won't go through all the rest now that Huey's here because I'll let him take over for a little bit since I've been blabbing. But for all you main people out there, let's look at GameStop. Double inside bar, flaggy, right? And again, kind of, I said it earlier, Huey, you probably missed it that with September rolling around, take it with a grain of salt, but I could see us popping for the first couple of days this week with the memes and everything. And then the market makers just taking over and selling everything off. Because it has a feel of January where everything kind of is getting a buzz to it, has a feel to it. Everybody's getting excited. And I think they're ready to rock us. But that's a feel. But you got a nice little flag there. Double inside bar. It looks like it's ready to do something. That's really the last one I got. If Huey wants to hop in and
Yeah, let me I have, so I've been just super duper busy today, but I do have two tickers that I want to share with you guys that I'm definitely, so I didn't play DOCU, I didn't play DraftKings last week, but I am gonna play these two. Let me just hold on. Okay, I don't know. Okay, can you guys see my screen? It should be Trading View.
Yep, it's pulling up now. You're good.
All right, cool. So I don't know if you did Tesla.
I did, because it looks super nice too.
Yeah. So this is just an added conviction for you guys on Tesla. I mean, they had good earnings on 4 weeks ago. Right now, all the moving averages are converged. And this isn't my normal setup. I'll have the charts posted up later with the proper setup. But all my moving averages are converged. We're at that downtrend, and we're getting ready to break. There's a couple of catalysts in the news, but mainly the reason why I like it is because if you do some Elliott wave on this, then we have like a wave 1, 2, more like 1, 2, 3, consolidate for a 4, and then break, hit 5. So some of these people on Twitter have targets of like 1,000 for Tesla, and in order for it to get to 1,000, it needs to start making its upside move now, right? I really like how tight the moving averages are close together, and I like how it's just at that trend line. So I'm just gonna be watching it. I'm not gonna take it until a break of, let me see. I think that this is a very crucial area for it over here. And I know that it's a whole $40 move prior to it happening, but I like to be more on the safe side. If you want to get risky, then you can play it above 729. I'm not gonna look at it until it gets above until it gets at 753. So this is gonna be my goal line right there, 753.77 above this price action here. Let me just look at the monthly real quick. I wish I was on my laptop. All right, so yeah, so it looks like it obviously made a massive move, came down, tested these lows a bunch of times, right? Didn't break beyond this low, and it made a higher low over here. From this candle to this candle is a higher low, and it's been continuously making higher lows. This area here was very strong for it to break, and it looks like it finally broke above this area here, right? It's currently trading above the close and highs of, the close of all of these previous candles. And this 9 moving average on the month finally caught up and is carrying the price action now. So, so it looks like they're ready to go. But again, I mean, we have some confluence on the monthly. The weekly obviously is on an uptrend. You go ahead and draw the trend line real quick for you guys. I wouldn't be surprised if it did this, and then I'm looking at a bullish move here regardless. I don't see any downside to this because we tried already. We couldn't make it beyond these lows here. So maybe it comes down.
Sorry, I thought you were sorry. So here's some homework for you. For everybody else, go through and see what Tesla does when it makes a symmetrical triangle like this. This is the most foolish pattern that you can possibly do with Tesla. I hit Tesla last fall major just based off a symmetrical triangle. They tend to just get some random ass news at the end of that symmetrical triangle, surprisingly. But
shockingly,
yep, over and over. That's the move I got. They announced the S&P on that one. So go back and just look at them. They just play them out all the time. So seeing a symmetrical triangle on Tesla makes me very excited.
And look at how long this one's been forming. Mm-hmm. Crazy. Since when? Since January. That's nuts. So Tesla's number one on my list. I do not like playing Tesla unless it's a high quality setup. And I see a high quality setup coming to fruition, especially above this 753.77 line. So I'm going to keep it on watch. The next one that I have is MMAT. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen me complain about my coworker who's constantly talking about OccuGen or whatever, and just always giving me stock advice that's unsolicited. He always goes full position, and he always buys tops. So I'm just like, bro, please. But he put this on my radar last week. The reason why I like this metamaterials is because there's a few things. So this is all consolidation, even though even though you can see like lower lows forming in there. Where we at? I'm actually gonna throw volume on this. Do I have a volume? Is this volume? Oh, this is something else. Sorry guys, I'm like all over the place with this. Okay, this is fine. And let me just add volume actually. Can I? Hang on one second. And while I figure out how to change this, I want to talk about September. I know as probably mentioned it already, I'm sure, but September is a very, very, very tough trading month. Sorry to kill you guys' eyes with that. September is a very, very tough trading month. Why? I don't exactly know why, but I know that I haven't had a good time trading in September. I know that a lot of fund managers and stuff tend to bounce out of the market in the month of September. September's terrible for tech, and it's not like you can just buy puts and chill. Like it's not that easy. Like because what happens in September is you end up getting this weird like sideways choppy. You get like a couple down days that just kind of shake everybody up, and then you get some just choppy price action where you see a green day and then you throw a bunch of money at the market and then it just fails on you the very next day. It's just a scary time to trade, and most of the pro traders that I follow are all gonna step away. What I think we should do is, and just like Estat said, we should probably take advantage of, I think memes are gonna be a major component of this September. As SPY corrects, as the Q's correct, and as a lot of the runners this year, like oil, energy, and XLF, as they kind of, find their footing, I think the memes are people are gonna throw money at memes just because it's fun. That you can make a move, right? So I'm gonna come up with a memes watch list. I'm gonna come up with a short interest watch list to share with you all. I should have it ready by some point tomorrow. The short interest conversation is back up, and just like you said, it's just like January again. And so I keep seeing short interest everywhere, and so I think that we should keep our eyes on it and set our alerts just so that we don't get caught sleeping at the wheel, right? So part of that is this meta materials. My boy who told me about this, he's a meme. He is a meme. So the fact that he knows it's good. That I should know too. It obviously took out all his moving averages. In terms of technicals, it's not really the best setup, except for the fact that it is forming higher lows. It's starting to form higher lows. Look at all the volume that came in on this one day. I don't know how to maneuver this. Is there really? No. So I'm gonna pull this up on TOS to see exactly how much was traded on this day. But look at all the volume on this one candle. The previous time that there was any volume this big was back here, when it made a massive move and kind of got sold off. Like this must have been a pump and dump on that day. And then if you look like way over here, it was when it started making these huge moves up, going from $6 all the way up to about to be $22. Yeah, almost $22. In 4 days. So I'm expecting like an SPRT type move out of this. Maybe not. Maybe not. Who knows? This one stood out just because the moving averages are starting to curl into each other a little bit more. Like the faster ones are about to cut through the slower ones. It's about to do. Let me see if I can. It's really happening. It's about to do basically one of these, but to the upside, right? So the yellow is going to cross up through the red. So I'm just going to keep this on watch. This is a very cheap ticker. The 5 call, I think I have it notated on so it's a low float with big short interest. I think it's like 40% short interest. Obviously that massive spike of volume on Friday. And the 5 call for September, it's like, I was checking it earlier, it's like 33 cents. I'm sure it's going to open at like 40 or 45, but still cheap enough that we can add some watchers to see how it moves. And go ahead.
I was gonna say it had 40 million shares traded on Friday. The 34-day average is 17 million.
Yeah, so double the more than double the average. So that's a good sign. That means that and you can see even like that little volume flag, like if a bunch of volume here and it kind of died down and then popped. So that shows you, when we tell you to look at volume for confirmation, you know, you see a big move like this, and then you see the volume slow is dying down, and then a green, massive green day on a lot of volume is like that's the move, that's the sentiment, that's where they want to take the ticker, you know. So now it's a matter of finding an entry. I wanted to point out with this, I want us all to train our eyes to be able to spot this sort of price action out. And I know T sees it all the time, because I know he's always drawing boxes on stuff, and I think we should start training ourselves to view these boxes. When you see like boxes like this with the price action, like for example, this day went from $3.18 all the way as high as $4.24, so a whole dollar move, which is pretty big for this ticker. But even still, like it just kind of like it moved and it kind of like dwindled away and it moved, and this is all accumulation right here. This is all people buying it, like institutional investors, insiders, big money just buying it and holding it right here in this place. Before you see, and then the confirmation is like boom, massive volume on this green day, massive volume on this green day, means they want to take it to the upside. It's just a matter of when. It could be the next couple of weeks. I think the open interest, let me just pull it up real quick on my phone while I have you guys. Yeah, I have it, boom, right away. The 5 call for 917, the open interest for that on Friday was 5,006. The volume on that contract was 17,600. So that means that 17,600 contracts were traded and on Friday, and the day before that, a total of open contracts available were 5,000. So the volume surpassed the open interest, which means this was heavily traded. Obviously, you can tell by this volume, right? So I'm looking for a continuation of that. The Greeks are great on it. The IV is quite high. It's at 206% IV. That particular contract. I'm actually gonna run a quick IV scan, and that's it for me, guys. I mean, unless you guys have any requests, I'll go through the requests. Me and S, and I see T's in the room as well. We can go through the requests with you guys. I just want to run a quick IV on this MMAT, and I'll do a little bit deeper due diligence on them. Yeah, so the IV is at implied volatility is at 180 for the ticker, and it ranks 20 percentile. So there's a whole bunch of upside on it. And this has been as high as 240 for the ticker, and obviously 100 percentile on IV. So there's plenty of upside on this. I think it's a good risk reward level because we can buy it and set our stop. There's ways to trade this, right? You can trade this. Where is it? You can trade with an aggressive stop here at the end, at the opening of Friday's price action, or you can trade it with a looser stop down here at 286. It really depends. It depends on your style. You know, with so much time and this really being able to do something like this in the past, I'll set my stop down here. It looks like this is just a strong level of buying, especially with the 4 back-to-back dojis and then a massive move up. I just think that this is probably the best stop to have. In terms of entry, I'm probably it's cheap enough that I'll just buy whatever it is at the open and then look for a better entry. But that's what I have, guys. So let me unshare my screen.
See, I gave you co-host if you want to share something. I'm not sure if you got stuff tonight or not.
No worries. As you guys go on, I'm just listening in today.
Okay. So I saw 2 requests. I saw Caesars, CZR, and Cube. I don't know if I caught any other ones. I didn't. Inside week on Apple, Trini said. So I'll pull that one up. And then SDAO. So I will get AAPL. Inside week. Okay. It is an inside week, Trini. I will share my screen here. And which one am I at? There we go. So if you can see it, it is an inside week on Apple. You got 2 back-to-back long-legged dojis, one longer than the other. So that does set you up nice for a play. And I mean, my gold line still hold. I still probably wouldn't play Apple long unless we get over 150 again. To me, there's just not enough upside there. And we're kind of riding this trend right into that anyway, kind of a rising wedge going on. So I wouldn't be playing calls until we're over 150, but I would happily play puts below probably 140, that 147.80, and take it down to 146.28, and then possibly down to testing the trend, which puts us in the range of like 146 even, and see if
Yeah,
that
can you go back to the weekly? I just want to see I want to see the open and closes of those last 2 weeks. Just zoom into those last two candles if you can.
So open was 148.54, close 148.19, and then 148.31 open, 148.60 close. So
Okay, so it was
like 30 cents for each one, roughly.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, this looks like it's ready to do a downside move.
Yeah, it does. It feels like it's
It's
going to
giving me
lose this trend.
rising wedge vibes.
Yeah, you have your major resistance right here that's coming into. So I feel the same way. Your big play would be if it loses that trend line, jump the fuck in, ride her down.
The only thing is, I think they have an event on the 13th, or they have new phones releasing or something. There's something going on the 13th.
They usually do. They have that fall event, and that's their biggest event usually.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a run up to it, and then in my mind, I think it kind of triggers the sell off.
Yeah. Always.
The market sell off, right? Like they run up into that event, and then they're like, oh, typical Apple, sell it off.
It's crazy. Everybody buys calls that day. Like, you know what happens all the time. Like, just don't even trade it. Don't even trade it, or buy puts and call it that.
J.R. Banks, I thought you said do not do Boeing. Come on, man. But nah, I'll pull up Boeing. He literally told me when we started, do not do Boeing. So yes, I see the double bottom that you're thinking of. Made a higher one though, so good. My thing is that a bear flag? Biggest weekly bear flag for more downside that we broke out of. Had a little more volume, not crazy, but yeah, I see it. What else did you say? Double bottom on daily as well.
Yo, is Boeing? Do they profit off of war? Correct?
Yeah, because they make weapons and shit. So it probably ends up ripping off. To be honest.
Yeah. Do you think that this what's going on over in Afghanistan? You think that that's a catalyst? I don't really keep Boeing on a watch list.
I think it could be. I mean, I haven't been watching stocks long enough, right, to pay attention to Boeing through this kind of news cycle, right? But they do make weapons. They do make aircrafts that go with it. They make a lot of technology to go with it. So I would think that falls under like the Lockheed Martins of the world. Boeing moves with it as well. Halliburton. I know a lot of other people were loading up on war times at the end of last week. So that definitely could be a bullish catalyst for this. And JR, just you said, meaning you're surprised that I didn't have it. One of the reasons why I didn't have it is when I'm looking at inside bars overall, I don't like my inside bars to basically be the same size as each other, especially when one was kind of a bearish move and then you got a reverse bullish move. It's not giving me enough information to actually play for the breaks. I mean, it's still there, but it doesn't give me the more comfortable. Whereas, like we have Tesla. Well, Tesla was a full inside bar for like 4 days. That's why I did that one. Whereas Snow has a tighter candle inside a larger candle. So at minimum, we have the runs to the edges of the large candle before, which they'd say like a 3 outside bar. So that's it. Like I want to look for that first move minimum because we're getting close to 50% just on the first price target. So that's good enough for me.
That is a beautiful setup on Snow.
Yeah, that's and especially with the bullish earnings and everything, it's ready to probably make another pop. So we're ready for it. Penny Stone out inside bar weeks. Let's get to some of coaches as well. He had Caesar and Cube Now for me, they don't do much for me. Cubes making all-time highs. Technically, this is kind of a bearish candle, especially after double gap ups, maybe a little exhaustion, but I don't know if there's news behind it. So overall, I mean, I think we say this every week, right? Once we get into these all-time highs, we kind of watch, just kind of wait and watch. We can make guesses of what's going to happen, but the overall plan would be loss of 52.39. You take puts. Again, you beat the most recent all-time high. You take calls and you make a guess on fibs somewhere along the line, right? So your guesses would look something like this: 54.24, 55.27. So those will be your guesses to the upside, but that's kind of all you have when you're in these all-time high ranges. Breaks of the lower end now on the reverse, you can kind of take them down to where we had pivots before. But that's really all you got for something like that. Does Bitcoin typically run in September? I thought it kind of died last year in September, but we'll check it out. I thought like once we had that die and then they heated back up with the market in November, and that's when Riot really started fucking taking off. As for Caesar's coach, that is a lot of sellers coming in as it hit that, what was that, 109 on the dot off the 100. So there's a psychological about once you get over 100, things like the pop. One of the like best traders of all time, Jesse Livermore, used to play anything that was about to pop over 100 because he said as soon as 100 happens, people start getting nervous that they're going to miss out and they start buying up. So that's what we might have saw here. And I'd see what we do when we open in the morning. It could have more upside, but if it loses the 100 again, this is what in the strat would call a pivot machine gun. And when you see this is kind of exhaustion, right? Sellers are coming in. Tomorrow we might see more sellers and it consolidates a little bit here, maybe tucks under the 100. And then you can get ready to take puts and you would take it down to each of these pivots. 1, 2. It's like perfect. And it's called a pivot machine gun because as soon as it pivots, it breaks. It's like rapid fire machine gun. Boom, 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 boom. It's just going to take them out because we take the stairs up and the elevator down. So just keep that in mind that's a pretty, I mean, it's not a fully bearish candle, but that much selling pressure. That's $5 selling pressure to end the day as it was trying to push. That keep that in mind that we might go sideways, and if it can't get above, probably if it can't get above wherever it closed at yesterday, it might have some exhaustion capabilities. And then let's look at what, I mean, we can just look at Bitcoin too, right? BTC, does that come up for here? Yeah. So let's look at Bitcoin last September. What did it do?
I think you're on a 10-minute. Oh no, you're on a daily. Never mind. I don't know how Bitcoin. The thing with Bitcoin, especially now, is that I think it's a hedge. Yeah. Whenever like I think earlier in the year when memes were running, Bitcoin was also running. And then all the NFT people came out of hiding last week, and I'm just seeing all kinds of NFT stuff on my timeline. I know Ethereum gas fees really high right now, which means that it's being traded very, very frequently. So I don't know, when September. Yeah, it did the same thing as tech in September. It kind of died and then went sideways for a bit.
Yeah, basically what the market did, right? It had created its low, rebounded a little bit, pulled everybody in, then created a higher low, but this low hurt just as much. Like here's the ES one, right? Here's what ES looked like: low, rebound, low. So Bitcoin kind of did a very similar thing, maybe not as drastic, but it had a very similar structure. And then right around Thanksgiving, right? That's when Riot really started to fucking take off. I remember, like, if we pull Riot up here, I remember that one vividly. That because I think I made like I played like one Friday, made some money, and then didn't play again and just watched it run away from me.
Yo, look at the price. Look at oh my god, look at the price.
Yeah.
Wow.
So 2020. I ended up far back, my bad.
Mm-hmm.
But here's Riot, same thing in August. So it started dying in August. Then it kind of flatlined through September. And then look at right around Thanksgiving, November 16th. I think I played like this pop, and then that thing just never stopped. Yeah, I played like a $6 call, I think. And then look, by January 13th, we're at $30
Wow.
from Thanksgiving. Because I actually wanted to buy shares and never did. Clown face, you suck at trading.
I bought a bunch of shares. I bought shares at $11.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm still up pretty big. I mean, I'm in the play for free now, but
yeah.
But I was trading Riot when it was like $2 going on $3 back in July last year.
Yeah, I kind of did a couple there, and then I know I played a couple in November, and then that thing just went.
Mm-hmm. But look at the volume. Look at the volume. Like, look how much volume picked up from that big ass green candle, and then just before that there was nothing compared to now.
Yeah, what's that? Roughly. Where's my phone? I hate trading you. I don't like the volume setup. So it went 82 million on that, and the average at the time was 9 million, almost 10 times. Day before was 11 million, so it was like 8 times volume, 7 times volume in a day. So yeah, that's fucking insane. All right, all the requests are coming in. So I saw a PayPal. I see a Upstart. I like Upstart.
What is Upstart? What business are they in?
I have no clue. I just like the stock trade.
Are they like a firm where they like provide money? Are they like a lender?
Yeah,
like that?
I think that's something that they are. Okay. So PayPal's looking. I mean, look at this nice channel, almost a little bit of a falling wedge going on. So I'd basically trade inside this channel until we break each one side or the other. Right now, you close right at the top. So if we open up tomorrow and we're above it, let's see if we get in and retest this blue line and start heading back up. Your safe entry to kind of feel good about it is probably this 280 line, because you want to make a higher high. And hopefully that's breaking out. Ideally, we see it hit like 280, a little above 280. The next day, come back, retest this blue and hold, and then start lifting off the blue one Wednesday or Thursday. And then we can feel real confident that we stayed above this downtrend and start heading back up. Yeah, it could. Han said it could be setting up for a nice triple tap in like a month or so. Yeah, by the end of September, if we come back down, or maybe even in 2 or 3 weeks, come back down for a week, come up for a week, we might rip through at that point, and I wouldn't mind seeing that actually. But you could still play this channel. What do we got? 78 to 64. That's money. You can make money there. $15. And you have a decent support line here that if it breaks through 73 to 64, $9, you can still make that play as well. So
didn't they? I know they've always kind of been a crypto sympathy, but didn't they say there was an official crypto statement for like, I think for the EU or something like that, where you can finally trade crypto on PayPal in the EU?
Oh,
am I making that up?
I didn't see that. You would have thought that we had more of a pop unless it happened just this weekend, right?
Yeah, let me look into it, because I think I saw something like that on Thursday or Friday.
Yeah. Like you said, my timeline and shit is just inundated with NFTs. I can't follow anything right now. I'm about to mute that.
The NFTs look like all these lines on the chart. I can barely see the candles.
Dick.
Let me see.
Upstart. It's fun to trade. Sometimes the contracts are a little thin on volume and stuff. As a whole, we're in, again, all-time high areas. So this is going to be similar to like Apple and Microsoft a couple weeks ago. We're going to want a beat of all-time high. Well, I guess Friday was actually the all-time high. We're going to want a beat of the all-time high to run longer on calls. I mean, we gapped up after earnings. This at least has a really nice structure for us for a fib extension. So we could get some good, really good price targets out of the fib extension. Let's see what we got. We got here, got there. Yep. So that would work. And you can see, look at this one, 22.29, kind of right in that area. I could have made it a little more perfect, but that gives you upside if it breaks there. Now to the downside, you can see it has a very similar structure as Tesla, where we got kind of 3 or 4 days in this little range. So if it breaks to the downside, you want to go the low of those 3 or 4. And let me just change. I hate when my colors are all gold. We want to make it clear what we want to do. Breaks the 211, and we come back and retest the 204 for sure. And then this probably right around 200. Yep, 199. That'll be the next one. And then anything below 200, that's where we start getting a little bearish until, like, see if this 190 holds. Could get ugly under 200, but there's a play there for sure. You just might have to wait a little bit. As you can see, this range is $13. So barring a gap up or gap down, you might just have to give it a day or two to make up its mind which way it wants to go for safety.
Yeah, there's a definitely a move incoming, because look at how the volume has been slowly fading away from that massive move after earnings.
Yep, something's going to happen. And what Huey means by that, most when you see declining volume like this, even especially when the stock's moving a little bit up, it's telling you that they're either distributing or accumulating in that range, which means market makers are either trying to sell at the high here to run it back down, or they're trying to buy each time it hits on these lower ranges slyly. And then eventually they're going to buy a shit ton to run it up or down, or sell a shit ton to run it down. So yeah, it's definitely as that volume comes down. And I mean, I guess we're getting close to average again, at least. So maybe it consolidates here for a little bit, because look at this long ass consolidation.
Wow.
June to August, a nice nice little fight.
Clear accumulation.
Yep, pretty much. All right. I think that's most of what we got. I know Coach had said SDOW, SDOW. If Huey, you want to take that, I kind of have to run.
Yeah, I'll grab it.
No, let me give you the screen back, and I'll get my watch list and stuff posted as soon as I'm done taking care of family stuff tonight. But I'll be on all week in the hotline. JCat's back this week. We're full force. We're heading to Labor Day, and we're going to kill this stuff. Since I'm running, thanks, guys, for chiming in and checking this out. Huey and T got you from here.
Thanks, us.
Yep. See.
So this SDOW, it looks like it's a triple leverage short for Dow Jones. So before I give an opinion on, and I bet Dow just looks the exact opposite. I think it's DJI. Yeah. So the Dow, I remember hearing about it a lot on like these days here, where it was like it made the all-time high over here, and the next day just kind of sold off. I think it was 3 lower closes back to back on the Dow, which was these 3 days here. This day it held, what moving average is this? The 55. And it kept it from there, it bounced, and now it looks like it made a move. Did like a little, Fibonacci 618 retrace from this move, right? Let me just draw real quick so you guys don't think I'm just talking shit. Where is it? this is what I do with all these little retracements. I always draw
Yo,
from.
Huey,
Yeah, what up?
can't see screen, bro.
Oh, hold on. My bad. My bad. Thank you, guys. Start broadcast. Okay. Can you see the my trading view?
Yep.
All right, perfect. So I always run when I see like, let me just start over. So Dow made a move all-time high over here, and then we had 1, 2, 3 back-to-back lower closes, and that's they were talking about it on CNBC, which is they're always talking about the Dow, but anyway, 3 lower closes. It held this moving average here, or whatever moving average was underneath it, and it bounced, right? It made a nice bounce. So now I always, whenever I see these little bounces, I always draw fibs on them just to see what if the retracement, if it's going to be a shallow retracement or what. So let me just draw it real quick, and then I'm going to draw from this high on this green candle, right? So like right here down to that candle, and then let me just change the color. Yeah, so massive move up, and then it came down to the 618 fib, right? The 6.618 or 61.8% fib found support and bounced from there, right? So that's a solid retracement. This is an institutional buy. The 618 level is an institutional buy, algorithmic buy level. So like whenever I see something bounce at this level, I have confidence in it. Like once I see the candle forming and start to form green, or like if I see some buying pressure around this area, I usually tend to buy in these levels because that's where the algos buy. Upside move and downside move, 618 retrace. And I'll post a video later in the video section on how I learned that, but on who taught me that rather. So I like Dow for the upside. Now, as Dow is a triple leverage short Dow Jones ETF. So whatever Dow does, as Dow's going to do the opposite. So the days that Dow's green or days that Dow's red, as Dow's green, right? When Dow's green, as Dow's red. So right now, it looks like it's about to. Right now, it looks like it's forming a kind of an H. The Dow Jones, it's compiled of, and I mean, there's a bunch of tickers in it. Are you okay? There's a bunch of tickers in it. And if anybody knows, like the leaders in it, then you can go ahead and mention it in the chat, or you can jump on voice and just mention it. But these are some of the tickers that are going to be affected by. Nothing is safe from the September sell-off. I think like maybe crypto might be safe, and I think memes are safe from the September sell-off. But everything else, every other company, every sector, everything fails in this time. That being said, SDAO might be a good move because it's a triple leverage, so it'll get like a massive gappy move. Like for example, from 32 to 36 in took what 10 days. It is a very slow mover. That being said, you can probably get nice cheap contracts, a couple dollars out the money with time. Like you can get some October expirations. If you want to play beyond September, get some October expirations. And if it maintains this uptrend here, right, just making a higher low, then just watch this trend line. And keep your eyes on the news. Find out what the top 10 on Dow is, and keep those tickers on a watch list. SDAO is a nice cheap way to play market moves. Same thing with TQQQ and SQQQ, up and down. Same thing with SPY and VIX, or UVXY. UVXY is a nice cheap way to play that kind of stuff. Only thing I would advise with this particular, and this is just looks mad bearish, and I personally wouldn't touch it until it starts digging into these moving averages. I don't really like playing short, triple leverage shorts personally, but when they move like crazy. You get candles like this and moves like this on these 3 days. I just personally don't like it. I would check the open interest to see where people's money is. But yeah, I mean, you can play this either way. You can take this to the upside if Dow starts giving you, if the Dow continues to test those lower areas, and really like the technicals on this, the technicals are just follow Dow and do the opposite. And whatever Dow does is going to do the exact opposite. Dow, I think, has more volume than this. This might not be the best play for negative Dow. Might be, who knows? I don't know, but I think it's worth doing some more research. Just because we love doing technicals, I'm gonna go ahead and just draw the trend line. It's just holding this trend line, this downtrend. September might break it, since September is, the scary month. But yeah, we'll see what it does out of this triangle, and then I'm gonna put some areas of interest, or some points of interest rather. Like I would take this at the break of that, and I will go short. This is actually an inside bar that we formed on Friday. Is an inside bar to Thursday's price action. So it'll give you a clean play to the downside to test that low. If it breaks that low, then the next number I think would be 29 even. All right, let's do 29.1. And then if we can manage to get to the upside, then and an upside move would be like a negative market move, then there's some nice upside potential here. I don't know how strong of a support this is. So I don't know how strong of a support this is. If you want to play upside move, I don't know how strong the support is. Whereas if you want to play downside move, there's a very strong support here, right, in this area. So a downside move looks more favorable. But again, the technicals on this really don't matter. It really depends on what the overall market is doing. So I will go ahead and watch that to see where you want to take it. Let me go back to Zoom. I'm on my iPad, so it's a little bit different for me right now. Let's see. Yeah, so T said Apple, Microsoft, CVX, HD, Cisco, Verizon, JPM, Amex, Intel, J&J, Walmart are Dow top companies. Yeah, and T said we're headed back into day trading scalping zone, especially since when you're shorting, except if you're shorting stocks. So you can basically buy shorts and go long on the shorts, aka swing them for a couple of days or weeks even. And there's no definitive reason why September is the worst month for Dow and SPY, but a lot of people argue because it's the change in season. I think so. Seasonality plays a massive part in it. There's something about Labor Day, people just going on vacation, taking their money off the table, and just going on vacation with peace for Labor Day, since it's the end of the summer. But I mean, look, Apple, Microsoft, Cisco, Verizon, even JPM and Amex and Intel, those are all considered tech companies. Chevron, HD, J&J, Walmart are kind of defensive companies. Maybe not J&J so much. And so those are multiple sectors that are getting hit, and if we check seasonality, there's just in sector-wide, there's always a pullback. So exactly like T said, I think for these next coming weeks, we should probably get back into the small account challenge, which is the 10%, 20%, 30%, and take your profit and bounce setup. Because if we try to go long, I know many of us have a long bias, and if we try to go long the way that we usually do with all, when the market's hot, we tend to lose money in the chop. And so I think and I've been doing it too. Like I'll take my 30%, boom, I'm gonna take 95% of my play off the table. I'm gonna leave one or two runners, and if the runners go all the way to zero, it's fine because I made my profit. But we still manage. I think at this point, 10, 20, 30% is what we should be aiming for and be happy with, especially in September. That can compound very, very quickly. From $100, you start with 100, you end up with 120 on the first play, end up with 150 on the next play, and then with 200 on the next play. You just double your money in 3 plays. And instead of trying to double your money on a home run in 1 play, I think we should stay in that mindset now. And if September ends up being the opposite of what we think it is, and ends up being a massive green or massive red move, just a strong directional move, then I think that we should, we'll be able to capitalize on it. But I just don't think that we should have all our money on the table. I think we should, if we're playing with $1,000 account, throw $100 or $200 and let that, manage that little bit of risk. If you're playing with a smaller account, then throw as much as you're willing to lose. And when you see profit, be quick to take it, because the market will be very fast to take it. So you got to be faster than the market. I think in September, we're going to have a lot of one massive red day, one massive green day, one massive red day. And so you just have to know where we're at in terms of what you want to play on that day, and just see it and take it, see it and take it, see it and take it. Don't get caught slipping. I'm sure there'll be some things that we can swing, and everyone here will do our job to, including all of the members here, we'll do our job to just keep our eyes open, watch our own tickers that we love playing, watch the markets that we love to watch, keep an eye on crypto, keep an eye on the memes. I'm sure the memes are gonna have a great month, but who knows? If there's not any more requests, then I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. I have a few tickers that I want to go through, but I'm not ready to go through them at this moment. I'm gonna post them in the group once I get settled in. But if there's no more requests, then I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. If you guys do have anything additional that you want to add, or you have anything that's on your watch list, or you have any setups that you want us to take a look at, go ahead and enter it in the server. If anybody is watching this currently and you're not part of our server, we're offering a 7-day free trial. You can visit goldrushgang.net, goldrushgang.net to capitalize on that free trial. And it's $50 a month, and messing with us, you'll make $50 in the first 30 minutes of market open. So I mean, it's up to you. If you like money, then join. If you don't like money, then then don't join. But that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much. I'm excited about this week because we might get a nice massive run right into September. Last year, September 2nd was the beginning of the massive pullback. So maybe we'll get a nice full green week, and then we can take it easy starting next week. So we'll see what the market gives us. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for being a part of this. And we will see you in the server. Talk to you soon.